Welcome back to another one of my vlogs that I'm vlogging. Anyways, we are on episode 7, which I was not prepared here. What the shit is it called? Okay, Emiliano's a genius. Emiliano is a genius. Okay, he jumps into, what the hell does he jump into? Starts into the spider web. Oh, where Danny's gonna be heading out. Damn it, this thing's taking up too much of my screen here. Let's shrink it up a bit so I can make sure I'm in frame here. Alright, sorry for not being prepared, but that's my life. This is like a day late and dollar short. You ever get to one of those feelings where you're just like, shit doesn't work your way? This episode starts off with Danny leaving. Obviously, there's a communication gap there between Fabian and Hernando's character. So they get to that little scene there, and moving on to Octavio and Jonathan. Keep thinking it's Sebastian, Jonathan, but you know, that's just, I know more by their real names. So Jonathan's character. Now these two guys, in you know, real life, we all got along great. I mean, they all had fun. I want to talk about something that happened that Octavio never expected, but that'll be coming in a different scene. We had to do that one a different, you know, several times, but after the first take, it was not going to be as good as it was the first time, and I couldn't use the first one, unfortunately, but I'll talk about that later. Anyways, this car scene where these two guys are in, I had talked to Fabian. I said, look, we need a little bit more substance between these two characters. So they already went through the deal me in where they're fighting over Magna's pictures. Being Octavius being, you know, he's a little older, he's more of Magda's age, and Jonathan being more juvenile, but it's got the hots for him. It's kind of like both in competition, but I told him that I think it'd be nice for these two guys to have a talk, a discussion about Magna and the marriage of, you know, Hernando and Jackie's marriage here. But these two guys seem like they're so opposite that they good friends, but they seem to be a conflict with each other when it comes to Magna. So Octavio kind of said, look, we need to get Hernando's character out of the way, and it's because I love, you know, Magna. That's pretty much Octavio's take on that. And Jonathan's kind of like being like, okay, I don't want to get into it with him in the car. And believe it or not, I was sitting in the back seat underneath both these guys. I had 2 cameras running. During that time, it was already hot, and I'm like, man. By the time I got the cameras running, sit up inside the car, and got myself in the car. Like I told him, turn the AC on. I'm burning up. And those guys were laughing at me. And for them, it was, let's just get in the car and start driving and start carrying the conversation. A lot of that was improv. I wanted to get some footage. Now, their conversation actually went on for, I want to say, maybe like 25 minutes. So I had to actually take what I thought would be the best substance for that conversation. Now, Octavio's character, he seemed to, well, I don't know if it's Octavio's character, it's Octavio. He likes to talk. He kept rambling, and you know, it wasn't just rambling, but he kept, you know, giving Jonathan too much to try to keep up. That's what I noticed. If Jonathan can barely get a word in there because Octavio's just doing all talking. Jonathan hesitates because she's trying to come up with a response, and this is on film. And I see Octavio just jump right into the next thing, you know. So it doesn't really give Jonathan much to to interact with him when he's got to think about what he's gonna say, and then Octavio's right, boom. And that's what I told him, guys. You can't leave too much silence between the camera when we're filming. It has to be constant. So the improv is you got to be good at improv. Now I want to say, Octavio, this being my first time working with him, he actually is I can say he's talented. He's a naturally funny guy. Yes. I can relate with him because, he's from Mexico, and I'm a Mexican, but from this side. So I can relate to how he communicates, versus Jonathan. Jonathan's he's from Venezuela, and Jackie's from, where the hell is Jackie from? I can't remember right now, and then Hernando's from Colombia. So our cast was made up from different countries, but I can relate more with Octavio because I know how he talks. I know what he means, and when it comes to the dialogue of different Latin countries, it seems to change a little bit. It really does. So what doesn't sound right for you or for Jonathan, his country and the way they talk, it sounds natural to me, and because I know how they talk Mexican. So I think then, and I'm thinking out loud right now, maybe that's why Jonathan was trying to keep up with what Octavio was telling him, because he was trying to, it seemed like the language, some of the words changed a little bit. So I think maybe that's why Octavio just kept going with the flow. Didn't say much. Okay, he just jumped into the next thing. So we did that for 25, 30 minutes. We were driving around, but finally told him to cut, and we'll go back and regroup. I don't want to make this too long. They got a scene with Yanel. This was an extra scene also, and it was scripted in there, where she's trying to sneak back into the house. She gets busted by her dad, and she pretends she was just reading it, and she sneaks off again. Obviously, Yanel's character, which is Wanda, she's living a double life. She's a call girl, she's a stripper, and supposedly going to school, college. So she's living a double life.
No sé de qué me habla.
Ay, por Dios, Virgen, sabes de lo que estoy hablando. Si no soy ningún estúpido.
No sé de qué me hablas.
Okay. Sebastián.
Sebastián.
Ya, te lo dije. Nada, nombrecito sofisticado. Esto está la madre de eso. Marta y yo.
Hit that button in the back cuando dije la cámara en aquel lado.
Ok.
Sí, arriba.
Lo pongo, Julio.
Sí. Ándale, estamos grabando. Ok. Como quiera, let's get going. Mira. ¿Me cuesta en este lado?
¿Sí?
Fíjate,
No,
¿sí me?
en mi cámara no te ves.
No, tampoco acá.
Ok.
No.
All right. Dime que cuando le...
Está bueno, chingado.
¿Qué pasa?
Ronnie, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Yo bien, muy bien, aquí. En la noche, a mi hermano, no, tú sabes el respeto que te tengo, tú sabes el... Sí, mañana, en la noche yo lo arreglo todo. Tú no te preocupes, una persona tan fina como usted, también, y mira, mi mejor amigo de toda mi vida, ¿cómo no? Sí. Ok, hecho. Allá nos vemos, que pases muy buenas tardes. Aquí, hasta luego. Era Rodney, hombre, era Rodney.
Cállate. ¿Qué mierda eres?
No, fíjate que no, esa es estrategia, porque ese chaparro, ese viejete, no se va a quedar con Magda, no, Magda tiene que ser mío otra vez. Ah, lo dudas, puetita, porque también tengo una para ti, tú sabes que entre Melón y Melames decidieron hacer un pastel, y que Melames puso la harina y me lame los huevos.
Emiliano, por favor.